Elizabeth, SoCal, EMS. Oh, we know. There's probably a lot of different stories on the other side of this line right now. What's going on, Elizabeth?
Okay, well, I got a spooky time story for you.
Spooky?
For real.
Yes,
Okay.
all right.
Spooky time. Okay. So I was a really young nurse, and I was living in Hawaii, and there you would have your windows open. So I was working a midnight shift, and the wind was blowing, and the curtains were just going back and forth, all that scary stuff. And the charge nurse said, go down and check Mrs. So-and-so. She's about ready to die, and I need you to tell me if she's dead. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So I'd never dealt with a dead body. So I had to go down to end of this dark hallway. The only light on is her room at the end of the hallway, and the curtains are blowing. I get down there, and I stand at the door, and I look, and I go, she doesn't look like she's breathing. So I run down, and I tell the charge nurse, she's not breathing. I think she's dead. And the charge nurse looks at me and says, well, okay, I'll be down there in just a minute to check her. And I'm like, but she's dead. And I go, yeah. She says she knows. So she comes down a minute later, and she puts her stethoscope to this lady's chest, like for a half a second. And she goes, yeah, she's dead. Wrap her up. And I'm like, what? So she's, yeah, I'll wrap her up. I've never wrapped up anybody. And she says, oh, I'll get Betsy to help you. She'll show you how to wrap her up. So this old nurse comes down, shows me how to wrap up this lady's body. She looked like she could have been sent FedEx in a package. We get her all wrapped up. And I'm like, oh, my God. I was just like shaking because the first person I've ever dealt with that was dead, right? So we get as far as the door, and all of a sudden I hear a, ugh. And I'm like, what the hell? And I turned around, and this lady that was dead had just blown some kind of gasket. I don't know. She breathed something out, right? And so I turned to Betsy and I go, oh, my God, was she dead? Was she dead? And the old nurse says to me, well, honey, if she wasn't then, she sure is now, so why worry about it?
Wow.
And that was my evening.
Well, now, that groan, that is something that will happen afterwards, right? Just gases escaping.
Right. But I didn't know that at the time. I was like totally freaking out because I was a very young nurse.
Well, and now when you wrap them, is it just head to toe? Do they look like a mummy or what?
They look like a mummy, but they're in a plastic sheet, and I'm telling you, they look like a FedEx package. I mean, we get them all wrapped up, and their arms and legs are tucked in, and we tie them up with tape and string and all sorts of stuff, and we've got things we got to wrap around their jaw. I mean, it's we've got to, like you were sending a ham in the mail. That's kind of what they look like.
That is freaky. First of all, the way that you were describing the hospital sounded like the hospital in The Godfather. Why the hell is it why would there ever be a long, dark hallway with somebody staying in a room at the end of it? Turn those damn lights on.
Exactly. And this is like the midnight shift, literally. So I was terrified. It was this time of year, too. So it did not help. It just did not help. So,
jeez,
but that
Louise.
was my first experience of wrapping a body.
So what year was that, Elizabeth?
I want to say 1974, 75, probably right around in there.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, I'm so happy we took this call. That is, I like asking for topics, and somebody shows up right on time with what I was looking for, and it is spooky as hell.
Yeah, it was.
Well, if you ever have anything more, by all means, write into the show, because October is spooky month, and I love spooky stories.
Okay, we'll do that. Absolutely. Love you, Frank.
Thank you for everything, Elizabeth. Be well.
You too. You take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
She wrapped the body up in saran wrap.
I know.
I don't want to be wrapped up like that. Do you have to make sure, when I die, I'm burned immediately, out on a lake? Like, the second I die, I need to be pushed out on a lake and...
The Viking burial?
Yes.
Well, you are Norse, right? Or you were?
I was for, a week or two.
And then you found Jesus again.
Yeah.
That was a funny phase.